Hello guys, welcome to CATMAT. This is our class 12 part 5. So in this class we are going to see some of the editing options in the assembly workbench. So firstly you will see uh, how to delete a component in the assembly workbench. So this is already assembled product. So here these are different components in this assembly. So firstly I want to delete any component here. I just need to select this and right click and click on this delete option, and then it will ask you selection. So here this is only a single component. To select delete all children, then you can see the constraints have been highlighted. So the constraints that are related to this part of the component will also be deleted. If you deselect this one, you can see what happening here. So if you click on this more option, you can see elements affected by deletion. So these are the different elements like the constraints, the different constraints. On yes and click on OK. So you can see the element got deleted successfully. So I'm just undoing this, Control Z. So this is how you can delete a component, or instead of selecting here, you can just directly select the part here and click right click. So there is no option for deleting here, but instead of this you can just select this and click on delete in your keyboard. I'm just trying to delete, but I'm not able to delete. Again, select I'm trying to delete by pressing delete button on my keyboard. It's not working. So the only way to delete this, just need to select a part in the specification in the tree here. So select this, right click, delete, and click OK. That's it. This is how we can delete. And doing this again. So this is how it can be. You can delete the parts, other components in the assembly design workbench. So here you can see all the different components here, but if you try to suppose if I try to delete this, so before that this double click will be redirected to the part design workbench by double clicking on this particular part here. So now again, if I want to go to the assembly design workbench, I can do two things. One is by clicking on this, or directly clicking on this product 1. So if I try to double click on this part 1.12, so you can see you are redirected to the assembly design workbench. Now if I select this, right click, and you can see the delete option is deactivated. So it will be activated only when you double click on this main assembly. So these are like sub-assemblies or a component, mostly like a sub-assembly. So that's the reason why they uh, are unable to delete this one. because so you cannot delete the currently activated subassembly. So to do so, so first active another subassembly and then delete the subassembly that was active earlier. So if I go for this, then select this, if I go for this again, you can see there's a delete option for this here. So I just first try to delete this. It's not possible to delete. So before deleting this, I need to go for another activate the another subassembly. So this is active now. This subassembly is active now. So that I can't able to delete this one. So I need to activate the another subassembly in order to delete this subassembly. So this is how it works. Or else you can move to the main assembly by double clicking. So then you can delete whatever components or the subassemblies you want to delete. So that's how it works. So coming to the next one is replacing components. So in CATIA V5 you can replace an existing component with another component inside an assembly. So then like the new component is being placed has the same basic geometry that the original component has, then it will be placed exactly at the same location where the original component was placed. Otherwise, the replaced component will be placed arbitrarily, like in space with no association with the location where the original component was present, like somewhere else in the space. So for that, uh, I'm going to give you a short example. So here is the replace component option. You can just click on that, and this is the component I want to replace. uh, I readily kept one of the other component with a different dia of this hole for to replace. So just select this one and the desktop. This is the component I want to replace. So click OK, and it will be asking you for impact in case of replacing a component. So these elements are going to get impacted. So these are different constraints that are linked to this component. So it is asking for, do you want to replace all the instances of the selected element? So I can just click no and apply the new constraints, or I can just click yes and apply the same constraints in case of any identical, or in case of it is having a basic geometry of the component that is present here. So just clicking OK as it has a basic geometry. So the only change here is the diameter is quite large. So you can see it automatically replaces the existing component at the same location as the base feature, and all the other features remains the same. The base feature remains the same, and the constraints are also being applied from the previous component. Positioning constraints are applied same to this component. So one thing that is not possible after replacing a component is that you cannot undo that. So if I just click Control Z, undo, 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 you can see it's not being replaced. So it remains as usual. After can't be changed unless until if you try to replace the previous component by using the same process that you followed earlier, like replace component and select this one, and searching for the actual component. Yeah, here it is. Add opening, and again the same. Just click OK, and you can see the component, previous component has been replaced by using the same method of replace component option. So this is how the replace component can be used effectively. The reason the replacement is done at the same and exact position is the base feature of the replaced component and the original component almost remain in the same, only the small minute details have been varied, so that's the reason the position and constraints are applied same. So coming to the next topic here, editing components inside an assembly, and then next after that we'll be seeing the editing subassemblies inside an assembly. So coming to the editing components inside an assembly now. So for that, so you can call these are all the components of the main assembly here. So there is a difference between a component and a subassembly that I will be telling you after later. So firstly, uh, coming to the here, I can just edit it like as you know earlier I have done in my previous classes, but I am particular and stressing now as it's the class about editing, so I'm particularly stressing now. So just clicking like select a component and in that go for part file and double click on this. So we'll be redirected to the part design workbench. So in that again you want to, so better to make the changes more effective and more clear without any confusion, you better hide the other components. That's the best thing you can do. So here is the option, the hide or show option. Double click on this and select all the parts that you want to hide it. That's good. So now just select it again to deselect. So yeah, this is the part you can edit like whatever you want. So if you see the pocket here and go from the sketch, and it is 7.5 dia, I want to make this like 10 and click OK and exit the sketch here. You can see the dia has been modified for clear vision. Again want to make it big so that it will come out of the metal. Yeah, now exiting. Now it is very clear for you that I made this change the diameter just for an example. And now just double click on this main part component and again unhide all the you need to unhide all the components here. Double click, select all the components. So you can see the this is how we can edit, how to edit a part in a assembly design. So just selecting the part and plus click on this plus, and then the part will appear another part. So in that you can double click, will be redirected to the part design. In that you can do whatever you want, like creating some other features on the component, or reducing the features or increasing the features, whatever you want. And just after completing your modifications, you can just click on this part like this, and component, then minimize, will be automatically redirected to this main assembly design workbench. So this is how the editing components. So this when you save, try to save this, so that this will be reflected in saving. So this will be reflected here. So if you see this is the currently assembly, and when you open the individual component here, so this is not the component. So motor cover casing is also not yeah, when you open the individual component, individual part file, you can see the same changes have been saved in this individual. So the modifications applies to a overall the part, sketch, and assembly. So the modifications done on a part will be reflected in the assembly, or if you have done that to a part in the assembly, that also reflected in the part. When you open separately, you can see the change that you have done in the assembly design. This is how it works. They are all linked together, so that's the reason why you can see the changes happening everywhere. Suppose instead of this, if I try to so if I try to do the same, like doing the changing in the part file, and I'm trying to save this and closing this, going for the assembly design, you can see the changes are reflected in the assembly design workbench or assembly model. So this is how it works. They are linked together, all the components and are linked together. So if you can change it on a separate individual part, or you can do this in the assembly design itself. So coming to the editing sub-assemblies inside an assembly. So in this editing sub-assemblies inside an assembly, so firstly if you see the there are already total 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So there are 6 parts of the components saved already, and this is the assembled CAD product file. So there are total 6 part files and 1 product file. So if you see here also there are 1 2 3 4 5 6. So these are the 6 components that are saved individually and one assembly product file I just see here. So coming to the subassemblies now. So these are our individual components. There is no subassembly here. So it's just go for this product and this subassembly and click on this. So you can just rename as subassembly. Click OK. So this is the subassembly and named as product to subassembly. So in that this actually there are no separate components, so I'm just trying to keep this one in this product subassembly and even this one is here. Just clicking and dragging, clicking, dragging and dropping in this. So consider two components in this subassembly. So now if I try to save this one, save, there is information here. Just click OK. I want to proceed. So just open the file and you see here now count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one extra product file came here. That is nothing but this product to subassembly. Yeah, this one. So this subassembly will be saved separately apart from this individual components, and the whole product file is product to subassembly will also be created separately so that you can modify it. So the modifications, so if I just try to open this, so it will be opened as a new file. So this is a subassembly. In this you can see two different components. So if I just try to any changes made in it, I'll just make some changes and make this dia as 20. Okay, now exit and going for this part, pocket sketch, and this also I want to make it as 20. Okay, now exit and try to save this one. Close this one. It's asking for modified documents will not be saved. Use save management to avoid this problem. You want to proceed, I just click S and you can see the changes have been reflected in this main assembly here. You just want to check them once. Double click on the sketch and you can see the diameter was 20 here. So this happened as I changed the dimensions in the subassembly. So those are reflected in the main assembly, and not only that, you can see the changes in the individual file, part file also. You can see the, you can find the changes have been reflected. So, like I said, the what are all the linked components in the assembly, any changes, the changes in any single component, so the changes will be affecting on every where where it is linked, like in a part file or in a product file or in a subassembly file, which are linked all together. So this is how this editing the subassembly works here. So these subassemblies will be saved as a separate product file, whereas in case of the components, they will be saved as individual. So there's only difference here. So by this we will be closing this section, and in the coming classes we will see the editing the assembly constraints and some of the other important topics in this assembly. So hope you enjoy the class and have a good day. Bye bye.